small little build this morning on touching on topics like why Moors choose to disconnect ourselves with the term black. I'm gonna jump around. I'm gonna cover a few different things, so bear with me. If anyone has any questions or wants me to go a little deeper on a specific topic, just go ahead and write a comment. Um, and I'll go ahead and touch on that for you. I'll probably make another video, but I'll definitely cover it either with you or just make another video on it. All right, check it. So the term black, right? We growing up, there's been a lot of pride with the term black. We as a people are definitely connected to that term. We connected a lot of emotion to it. We have a lot of culture connected to it. You got your Black Power, Black Panthers, Nation Islam, like people who made you feel proud of the term black, made you feel proud to be black. So now I understand when it comes to the culture of black people, when it comes to the spirit, when it comes to the energy, you know what I'm saying? I understand we definitely connect with it. Moors do not disconnect ourselves with the culture, with the people, with any of that. But the one thing that we do disconnect ourselves from, and it's solely because Moors, we study law. You know, we study legalese, we study culture, we study. To be a Moor, you have to be studious. To be an active Moor, you must be studious. You must study and gain these different knowledges so that way we can help our people out. So the thing about it is, when you're dealing with law, and when you're dealing with certain things like a color to describe a human being in law, it simply has no standing. The term black was given to the Moors, was given to us by somebody other than us. What I'm saying is, black people didn't start calling black people black people. It was something that we caught onto, but it was given to us by another people who were oppressing us at the time. You know, still are, you feel me? But it was definitely more blatant. It was definitely more back then. What I'm basically trying to say is the term black was given to us by an oppressor. It was given to us with a meaning already attached to it. When I say that is because we have our own definition today of what being black is. And we hear it all the time growing up. You ain't black enough, you this, you that. You feel me? It's connecting the term black with our experiences in life, good and bad. But what I'm here to say is that the term black already had its meaning. It already had its definition. It already had its own experiences tied with it before it was given to us as a people. Now, the reason why black simply cannot be a people is because, one, it's a color, it's an adjective, it describes something. You have black shoes, you have black t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? But when you say a black people, where do black people come from? Where is the black land, the country black? Where's the history for 2,000 years, 3,000 years, 1,000 years of people calling themselves black, Negro, colored, or African American? You'll never find that history because there is none. We as a people never called ourselves a color. We always called ourselves by our nation or our empire. And the last legal, the last noble, and the last worldwide known name for your black people here in the Americas or in the Caribbeans or everywhere was known as Moors. We were called as Moors. We were called Moors, and we called ourselves Moors. Moor has many different meanings. You can find Moor in the ancient Egyptian meaning. It means the high priest of Anu. Anu is basically like the sun god, or On. You have Moor tying into the definition of the waters, because we were navigators. You know what I'm saying? We were the ones who were navigating the seas. And when you're mooring your ship, you're anchoring your ship. It has to do also when you're in the womb of your mother, you're connected with the umbilical cord. You're mooring in the womb of your mother, in the seas of your mother. Also, it deals with land. If you look in the definition, moors deals with land. So when you're saying that you're a moor, you're tying yourself back to the land, the water. You're tying yourself back to nature. You're tying yourself back to your proper person. There's actual government documents. There's history of people known as the Moorish, or the Moors who conquered Spain, or the Moorish hordes, or the Moors here in the Americas, the Washita de Dugdamania. There's documents showing who the Empress is and how she's an actual real-life Empress of the Washita Empire, known as the Moors. M-U-U-R. It's still Moor, but it's different pronunciation. So what I'm saying is the term black was given to us as a tool to keep us oppressed. It was given to us so that way it would be easier to steal your birthrights. Because if you're not in your proper person, then you will not be able to receive that which is meant for you. And when I say that, I mean your rights, your inherited rights, your inherited land. The Americas was inherited to the Moors, and we can touch on that a little bit. But yeah, like, and the reason why you won't be able to inherit it a lot of time, and it's just for the simple fact, you know, we just don't know, and we don't know because the system that was taught to us in the educational period never told us about the Moors. They never told us about who we were. The only thing they told you about is your history starting in slavery. They can't tell you anything past slavery. They'll say that you was in Africa, you know what I'm saying? They'll show you some pictures and stuff like that. But they'll never tell you about your history here in the Americas. Because if you know that you're actually indigenous to the Americas, and you're actually indigenous to Florida, you're indigenous to Georgia, you're indigenous to North Carolina, South Carolina, you know what I'm saying, and you're indigenous to these lands, Tennessee, then there's something called the rights of indigenous people that you can enforce. There's something that's called an internationally protected person. And once you tie yourself back to a nation, you are, especially the Moorish nation, you feel me? The Moorish nations, once you tie yourself back to classify as a Moor, you feel me? There's many benefits. You have access to your rights. You have access to everything that was basically deprived from you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the good things about being a Moor. But we disconnect ourselves from that term because it means death. It means I think I went over color of law, you feel me? But it just means everything that we're not. If you look up the 1724 Christian Black Codes, they made these things, they called you black so that way that you can be subject to these things already. You feel me? And then they made you feel emotional, which is magic. They made you feel an emotional tie to it. They paid these people to make songs about it. You know what I'm saying? They paid these people to come on TV and call you African American, call you all these other things. I think it was Jesse Jackson who started the African American Center. One of them, somebody. But they built an emotional tie to these terms like Latino, Latina, Hispanic. You feel me? Black. You know what I'm saying? All the Caribbean islands and stuff. These are corporations. They're making you feel loyal to a corporation. And the United States in itself is a corporation. Look up United States is a corporation. You'll see. I forgot the code. I think it's 3002. U.S. Code 15 subsection 2002. Something like that. But if you look it up, you'll see how it says it's a federal corporation. You know what I'm saying? So you're actually, when you classify yourself as a U.S. citizen and as a black or African American, you're saying that you're an employee to the United States. And really, to give you the real sauce, black people can't even be United States citizens. The only thing you can be is chattel property. And this is the reason why so many things can go wrong. Like, this is the reason why we get these crazy football numbers, and you know what I'm saying, when we're going to when we getting punished by certain quote unquote crimes, or the reason why it's the reason for everything, because you call yourself black, and because they're trying to steal your birthright. They're trying to steal your land. They're trying to steal all your benefits, your credits. You know what I'm saying? And if they keep you distracted and thinking that you came from Africa as slaves, they're succeeding. Because why? Because you got people that's like, oh, F America or F the law. We never dealt with law. And the reason why we never dealt with law, we never seen the law, is because we were never in a lawful standing. We didn't have any lawful standing because the term black made you an artificial citizen. You was being ruled by statutes, codes, and ordinances and policies. That's what they're enforcing. That's what the police are enforcing. They're enforcing policies. Moors are outside the jurisdiction of the police. We're outside the jurisdiction of statute, codes, ordinances, and policies. I'm not saying that we have a bulletproof vest on, but I'm saying that those don't apply to us because we tied ourselves back to a nation of indigenous people here. I tied myself back to a nation of an indigenous tribe, recognized in the United Nations as the oldest indigenous people in the world, the United Washita, under the auspice of Her Highness, the Empress Radiasi Tierra Tunica Gosna El Bay. You know what I'm saying? So, like, who's Noble Drew Ali? Noble Drew Ali came back and told us exactly everything we needed to know in order to save us from a lot of this foolery that's going on, you know what I'm saying, out here today. He's the one that came and told you, he came in 1913 and set up the MuurLyfe Temple of America. And I believe right after he set up the MSTA, that's when the Vatican was started. Coincidence? I think not. He was born in 1886. He passed, he transitioned in 1929. Noble Drew Ali came back and he explained every reason why we are facing the injustices that we are facing. It's because we're outside of constitutional government. It's because we committed a great sin, and that great sin is going against your foremothers and your forefathers by calling yourself a black U.S. citizen. United States was never formed for quote unquote black people to be a part of. It was formed for us to be able to do business with the Europeans that were coming here and that we had a treaty with. And that treaty is the Peace Treaty of 1786. And it was made perpetual in 1835. The United States Corporation, in its conception, was made, we already had our government. You feel me? We already, in the Constitution, was in agreements between them as well. As long as we abide by the Constitution and by the treaties, we were supposed to be living here peacefully as one. But gradually over time, you had dirty Moors and you had Europeans who would like to, who feared the fact of being on a level of second-class citizen again. They quote-unquote lynched when that lynching period was going on crazy. It was killing off a lot of the Moors who knew, the history, a lot of the teachers, a lot of the wise men. They were killing off a lot of people who would be able to continue, who would be able to continue the teachings of more science, and who would be able to teach the children things about land patents, things about the riches, you feel me, the Constitution and all these things. So that way they can keep us in a state of perpetual enslavement. If not the body, then the mind. And once they get the mind, the body's gonna follow. You feel me? So they keep the mind enslaved. They keep the victimized mentality, so we can have a victimized reality, and we'll never be able to, you know what I'm saying, really elevate how we're supposed to. But that all ties in, that whole victimized mentality, all of that ties into the history that they want to give you, the knowledge that they want to give you. They'll never give you the the information on knowing that you're Moors. That's the big secret. That's the big Freemason secret, is that we're Moors. You feel me? And once that gets out the bag, once the people start recognizing it's happening, you feel me? We in 2020, and you got people like, the government can't do these little stunts no more without people calling it out anymore. You feel me? Conspiracies left and right. You know what I'm saying? It's the year of the 2020 vision. Like, it's the year of Aquarius. I know we was just in the year of the Pisces, the age of Pisces, which is, I think. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it was a quick little build. I ain't gonna go too deep, but I'm gonna drop another video. It's gonna be a part 2 to this. Definitely just check out for it. Again, it's your boy Zephaniah. It's MuurLyfe TV. Hit me up with questions. Hit me up with comments. Just let me know. We here to build. We here to, you know what I'm saying? We here to get it shaking. All right, peace.